is Veena from Patacake, the channel that's about baking and much more. Here's where you'll find quick and tasty recipes for new cooks and those with less time to spend in the kitchen. Okay then, let's get cracking with today's recipe. Welcome back. Today at Patacake, I'll be showing you a chocolate birthday cake recipe, no less. And we'll frost this tasty, soft and moist chocolate cake with a simple decoration you could make at home. I'll show you the entire process step by step from start to finish. At the end, I'll also show you how you could do away with having to type a birthday message, something that needs a lot of practice. So keep watching till the end. But now, let's get started with baking our chocolate birthday cake right here at Patacake. To make our chocolate birthday cake, we'll need maida or all-purpose flour, cocoa powder, baking soda, salt, eggs, oil, sugar, milk, vinegar, hot water, instant coffee and vanilla extract. We'll also need some soaking syrup. And for the simple cake decoration, we'll need some chocolate ganache, chocolate buttercream and some plain buttercream. If you want to learn how to make buttercream icing, you'll find the link to my detailed tutorial video at the end of this video and also in the description box below. Let's begin by checking out the preparation of our 7-inch round baking pan. I've oiled and lined it with parchment paper and I've also applied a little oil over the top of the parchment paper at the bottom. Next, let's prepare some buttermilk by adding 1 teaspoon of white vinegar to half a cup of room temperature milk. Let's stir it and set it aside for now. I'll now mix 1 1/4 cups of maida, 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder, half a teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda and half a teaspoon of salt. And then sift this mix of dry ingredients. I have 2 eggs in this bowl and I'll now whisk them with 3/4 cup of sugar that I have ground coarsely. Let's whisk this for a few minutes. To this mix, I'll add in half a teaspoon of vanilla extract and whisk everything again for a minute or so. Next, let's slowly stir in 6 tablespoons of oil. You could use any cooking oil that doesn't have a strong smell. After whisking this mixture, I'll add the buttermilk to it and once again whisk everything. Let's set this aside and turn to the coffee. We are adding coffee into the batter because it enhances the taste of chocolate, making the cake even tastier. I'll add half a cup of boiling hot water to 1 teaspoon of instant coffee. Give the coffee a quick stir and then immediately mix it into the other wet ingredients. Now all that's left to do is mix the dry ingredients with the wet ingredients. We'll add the dry ingredients in 3 portions, mixing everything carefully after each addition, mixing only until the wet and dry ingredients combine. Make sure you don't overmix the batter. The batter of this cake will be somewhat thin and free-flowing. Let me show you the consistency. As you can see, it's thinner than a ribbon consistency batter. Finally, let's pour the batter into our prepared baking pan. Don't forget to tap the pan 4 or 5 times. Doing this will help release most of the trapped air bubbles in the batter. You may not be able to get rid of all of them, but that's okay. However, this is an important step for ensuring the baked cake doesn't have a dome that's too high. I'll bake the cake in my preheated oven at 170 degrees centigrade, that's 340 Fahrenheit, for around 30 minutes or till a skewer inserted into it comes out clean. The cake took exactly 30 minutes to bake. I'll repeat the skewer test for your benefit. We'll now let the cake cool in the pan for around 15 minutes. And after that, we'll invert it on a wire rack. The cake has to cool completely before we frost it. So you could cool it for around 2 to 3 hours or even overnight on your countertop. If you want to keep it in the fridge overnight, then wrap it in cling film first. I had kept the cake covered on my kitchen counter overnight and it's now ready to be frosted. We'll have to first level the top by slicing off the domed part. This was the reason we didn't want the cake to peak into a high dome. Our chocolate cake is moist and very tasty, and so this piece we've cut off could be enjoyed as it is. Next, we'll slice the cake horizontally into 2 layers. I'm just going to eyeball it without taking any height measurements, but you could make markings all around with toothpicks or just make small cuts at intervals at the same height to guide your knife while slicing the cake. Now, I'm not a fan of cakes that are smothered with icing all over, and so I'll be making what is called a naked cake. That is, I'll have a filling between the cake layers and spread icing on top of the cake, but I'll leave the sides bare. Now let's prepare a little soaking syrup. Usually a soaking syrup is made by dissolving sugar in an equal quantity of water. But since ours is not a dry and less sweet sponge cake, I'm going to make the syrup by dissolving just 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar in 4 tablespoons of water. I'll soak each of the cake layers with a few teaspoons of the sugar syrup. Being soft and moist, this cake doesn't need too much of soaking syrup, and so perhaps I'll use just around half of the amount I've prepared. Today we'll make a simple cake decoration using a mix of chocolate buttercream, chocolate ganache and plain buttercream icing. In this bowl, I have around 1 cup of buttercream. I'll keep a 1/4 cup of it aside and use 3/4 of it to make chocolate buttercream. I'm making this by mixing into it 1.5 tablespoons of the chocolate ganache that I had in the fridge. If you want to learn how to make chocolate ganache, the link is up here and also in the description box below. Let's mix the ganache well with the buttercream icing. I'll now insert a 1mm piping nozzle into an icing bag, snip off the tip, and fill the bag with chocolate buttercream. I already have another bag filled with a spreading consistency chocolate ganache, which I'll be using a little later. Now I'll take around a teaspoon of ganache, you could also use the chocolate buttercream instead, and apply it to the center of this cake board and then set the upper half of the cake on it with the top cut surface down. That is, the top of the cake will now be the bottom. I'll now pipe some large chocolate buttercream rosettes around the edge of this cake layer. Next, I'll fill the center with chocolate ganache. This piping bag has no nozzle. I'll now upturn the other layer of cake over this one so that the bottom of the cake is now the top surface. I'll repeat the border of chocolate buttercream rosettes on this layer as well. Like before, I'll fill the center with chocolate ganache. I've filled the uncovered spaces on the top with small white buttercream flowers, and I'll now add the finishing birthday touch to our cake. I'll insert a happy birthday cake topper into it. I made this one at home using an old birthday card, some glue, and a toothpick. It's an easy do-it-yourself cake topper. You could make something much prettier than this. And believe me, that would be much easier than having to actually pipe out happy birthday on the cake, but not any less beautiful. Now let me cut a slice and show you how soft our cake is and how the decorated cake looks inside. Here it is, soft and simply delicious. This cake will stay good outside the fridge for 2 to 3 days. After that, you could move it to your fridge. I assure you, this chocolate birthday cake tastes as good as it looks. But go ahead and find out for yourself by giving my recipe a shot. And when you do that, don't forget to let me have some feedback, okay? Hope you enjoyed today's video. And do stop by again for yet another quick and tasty recipe. Till then, take care. Happy cooking!